On this episode of Eat, Sleep, Drive, it's time to start this beast. We're firing up the LS1. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Eat, Sleep, Drive. I wanted to do a quick tour of what I've done off camera to this car before we get started today. There's a couple things we got to wrap up before we can fire this thing up, but I just haven't been able to film everything because there's been a lot of loose ends that were just going to take ages and ages to film, unfortunately, and they're not super entertaining, to be honest, right? Like, how many connectors do you want to watch me connect? So basically in the engine bay you can see that I got the harness in, and the intake is now installed. My buddy Ethan at Turn-In hooked me up with this 3.5-inch pipe that just makes like a super simple little intake. I got all the heater hoses over here hooked up, and they are hopefully good to go. PCV system is hooked up. A lot of stuff, a lot of wiring and all that good stuff. I also got the oil dipstick is installed, and then I put a sandwich for this oil filter on here so I could run a couple gauges off there. I'm really concerned about what the oil pressure is going to be on this thing, and I just want to make sure that it's all good. So that's kind of what I've been up to today. The couple things that we're going to do are, we got to put the rear diff in now that that's all rebuilt, and put the rear diff in, install the drive shaft. We got to fill all the fluids. It needs motor oil, it needs transmission fluid, it needs power steering fluid, it needs clutch, it needs brake fluid for the clutch master. So that's basically what we're going to be working on today. So come along for the ride, and hopefully it starts.
All right, let's put this diff in or something. Oh boy.
Adam is being an absolute legend and using the completely inappropriate pump that I have, but it's all I have to try and get the transmission fluid in the transmission.
Peasant.
And he's been doing this for like 15 minutes, so.
Why has my life gone so wrong?
You're a legend, dude. We just gotta fill the fluids up with this thing. Unfortunately, the computer has not been tuned yet to delete the what they call VATs, which is like a security mechanism. So if it does run, it'll only run for a couple seconds, but we still want to fire it up just to hear it, even if it's brief. So we're gonna fill up the fluids, bleed the clutch, and then fingers crossed. Well, here's the situation. We tried to start the car, and when I say tried to start the car, I mean I turned the key. The fuel pump didn't even come on, so I'm not sure what the hell is going on. It seems like power is not getting where it should be. I'm just gonna start troubleshooting in the first place I know to look. I'm not even sure where to begin. I'll probably start with the fuse and see if there's power there and go from there. But I'm sure it has something to do with the wiring that I did, but not sure exactly. Followed all the rules for how this harness is supposed to be hooked up and it's not getting power. So I'm just gonna try and troubleshoot it now. Let's see what happens. Right here, I'm pulling up the Land Cruiser to put jumper cables on it because I thought maybe the battery was weak. Once that didn't work, I start messing with grounds on this engine. Sure enough, when I put a bunch more grounds on the engine, everything started to work. Fuel pump came on, and it started cranking really well. From there, I knew I was really close. You can hear me cycling the key here, trying to get the fuel pump to run and create fuel pressure. Oh, baby! Yes! 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 Oh my god. Yes. Alright, it's only running for like 1 second because this security program has not been flashed. I am shaking hearing that car fire. Oh my god, there was just shitty grounds, man. Like, I wasn't getting fuel and it was a super weak start. I had no idea what the hell was going on. Troubleshooting all the wires, everything seemed fine. Just decided to hook up a bunch of ground cables and boom, everything started working. Fuel pump started working. I started priming the engine, get the oil, and then it fired to life. I can't believe that. Just briefly fired to life. It has good oil pressure, so I was super happy about that. I hooked up my gauge because I wanted to make sure that was good. And wow, ridiculous adrenaline. I'm gonna get that computer flash tomorrow, hell or high water somehow. If I have to drive to California to get it done, I'm gonna get it done. And we're gonna fire this sucker up. Stay tuned till next time. You guys didn't actually think I'd leave you hanging like that, right? This might be the moment of truth. Got the new fuel filter in there because that bitch was leaking. Just cranked the engine, built the oil pressure. Now we're gonna turn the key. And I hear the fuel pump coming on. Hopefully it's filling up with fuel. Let's do it one more time. Here we go. What was that?
You know, something came off one of the hooks.
Oh shit. Alright, hopefully this is the maiden voyage. We kind of checked things, but I really just want to take this thing for a drive. Obviously, I idled for a while. I just told Adam I'm not going to put my seatbelt on because he is sitting on nothing right now. There's not even a seat, and I promised to behave. So...
Heard that before.
Let's see how this goes.
Nope.
Womp womp. What the hell?
How much gas do you have? Is that accurate?
It's getting low, but it should be fine. I think. It's like if my hand or if my foot comes off.
That's weird. It was idling. Not fine, but it was idling.
I mean, it might be out of gas. Okay, take two. She didn't idle before. I'm hoping that it was low on gas. I mean, it was very low on gas. I'm hoping that was the problem. We'll find out. God, so it's gonna be so loud.
Yeah.
Well, shit. This episode has highs and lows. I'm super happy that it started. You know, the VATS delete security delete worked, so I could start the engine for more than a second. And it ran, it idled for a while. When I turned it off to check for leaks and stuff, there's a couple leaks. There's still an oil leak I need to figure out, and a coolant leak. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but I just wanted to take it around the block. And when I started again, it just wouldn't idle. So I got my work cut out for me. I got to figure out why it won't idle. Granted, it has stage 3 cam in it, NA cam, which is known to not run very well on a stock tune. But it was idling at first, so that's what I don't understand. So I have some troubleshooting to do, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Obviously, huge step in the build. It runs. I really wanted to see it drive just up and down my street, but that will be for next time on Eat Sleep Drive. Stay tuned, guys. I'll keep you updated on what I end up doing to make this all work. Please appreciate you guys following along this whole build, and you know, soon enough, hopefully, it will be good to go and get on the dyno and get tuned, get an exhaust and everything, and it will be a badass car for the street. So until then, once again, appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.